And nice to have everybody here today. Hope you're having a good start to your November. This month is really awkward timing-wise because we were gone last week for the Leadership Summit. We'll have a fan club next week, but then we're in Thanksgiving, and then November's over. So really this month, it's only these two fan clubs, today and next week. Our topic this month, our raving fan circle of excellence, if you will, is ecosystem. And there's not a lot of training you can do about ecosystem. The training that we've done, I think, is that we have hired what I consider to be the greatest OMs possible, and Daisha. And so I feel like that's really where just kidding, Daisha. That's really where the ecosystem starts, is with great people sitting in the front office, people who know agents care about their business, that they're on time, deadlines, et cetera, but between our corporate services, hi Lexi, our OMs, and hopefully your MDs, I won't speak about the Sun Valley MD, but I know the other ones are great. Hopefully they are creating an ecosystem for you that allows you to maximize your business. Be efficient, know you're supported, get your questions answered, so on and so forth. That's what ecosystem is all about. And for me, it really starts with Todd and Teresa, who have created a business that if I was in real estate, and I guess I am, but if I was starting a real estate company, it would look a lot like this. So hope you're all happy with your ecosystems, and every agent helps make it better. That's what I think. So, okay, that's my thing about ecosystems. And so, but what we're going to talk about isn't really ecosystems per se, because I don't know how to train on that, other than bring your MD lots of gifts. We could do a training on that. But what we are going to talk about today are a couple of personal things that I think are underused by agents in IQO. And the systems exist. They're scary, but I want to give you a little bit of insight as to how to make personal campaigns, as well as maybe get your blog going. All of you as CBDP agents have access to a blog platform, and Lexi will be the first to tell you, actually second because I'm going to be the first, that if you put blog stuff out there under your website, your SEO goes up, your exposure goes up, you are stickier out there in the real world. Robert, thank you. Your hair was a mess. I appreciate the hat. So those are the two things we're going to talk about. Any one of you at any moment, unmute yourself, say, what do you mean there? I didn't get it. That's not how I do it. I want this to be as interactive as possible, so please jump in. But if you're not talking, I'm going to mute you, Robert. Please mute yourselves, because any little sound out there does offer feedback. And so a few of you, I'm muting you. Sharon's probably the first time you've been muted in your life. I'm sorry for that. All right, I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to look at the IQO home screen, make sure everybody knows what to do. Desktop. Okay, share screen. You should be seeing my screen here in a moment, and you should be seeing my IQO homepage. Okay? All right. Personalizing campaigns. First of all, you don't ever have to personalize anything, because Lexi and Shawnee and Fern in marketing have done a phenomenal job of creating robust, really awesome campaigns that you can use anytime, whether it's a holiday campaign, of course, your newsletter and market report campaigns, and et cetera. But if you want to create something that is specific to you, let's say, Bob, you're getting Zillow leads, right? And you want to hit them with some Bob McHugh stuff that isn't in our campaigns, and you want to create like a 3-event campaign to make sure that those Zillow leads know who you are and that they can trust in the job you're going to do for them. How do I do something that is Bob McHugh specific? How do I do something that only Robert Schilling has done? We're going to go into that, and it's not easy to do this if you only do it once a year, but hopefully this training will give you some insights, and then you can simply ask your OM or ask me for a little bit of help here, and we'll make it happen. Okay, I'm going to go to the marketing, because anytime you're doing something that pushes you out to anyone, you are marketing. So marketing, we're going to go into e-marketing, because this is all going to be done online, and we're going to go into my campaigns. And Lexi, make sure you slap my hand if I say anything untoward here, okay? All right. I'm always concerned that when you get to this screen, you say, wait a second, I don't understand anything, so I'm just going to not even do it. It starts you on this overview page, Okay, and so it doesn't really feel like it's yours, but it's an overview of what your campaigns have done. Okay, so the campaigns I've sent out, lots of information here. You've got line graphs, pie graphs, pyramid graphs, all types of graphs, whatever. Mine's a little bit skewy because I do campaigns for all 6 markets, so I can't really get great information about things. All these Vail people have unsubscribed. That's good news. It means we're getting into people's faces, and they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with you. Good. Hit them again. All right. This gray tab, it's hard to see sometimes, but I want you to go into company campaigns first and just look. When I say how robust the campaign program is, this is all stuff that has been created by Teresa, Lexi, Shawnee over the years, and some of your OMs, and you can use these anytime you want. Let's say you want to use the buyer follow-up campaign. I just hover over actions, I click use, and again I go to the overview, and it's like, what? No, just forget the overview. Go to events, and it's got 3 events. It's got referral, day 1, congrats and thank you. Day 5, this will go out, keep me informed, and then 3 months later, there's another one. So it's a 3-event campaign. Don't get confused between the difference between events and campaigns. A campaign, as a politician, you're running a campaign from here to here. And to make that campaign, what are you going to do? You're going to do events. That's what your campaign is a series of events. So that's what, anytime we do a campaign, we are doing events. Okay? You can see recipients if you've got anyone in it. No one's in here, that's fine. That's the job for you to do next. But I just wanted to give you a sense of how rich the campaign program in IQO already is. It's 3 pages long. So everything for MDs and OMs, like these you don't want to use because it's MD use only, but your newsletter campaign, so on and so forth. Okay? But here I am, I'm Robert Schilling, and I've done business in Vail for a great many years. And I want to make sure that when I reach out to people, whether it's new leads or people I've been doing business with for a long time, that they're seeing me, Robert Schilling, because I know I resonate with them. And I want to capitalize on that. I've changed offices. So I want something specific to Robert Schilling. How can I do that? First of all, I'd come in here to my campaigns, because this is where the things that you are creating live. My campaigns. I've done 3 here. Haven't done very well with them yet. I've got a new agent month 1. Still working on that. I've got the smart home giveaway and a test. But I want to create, let's make this real simple. I want to create a 2-event campaign for leads that I've been in touch with once, but now I can't get in touch with them again. So you've already got some connection because they've responded to you once, but now you want to say, maybe like in 2 different emails, you want to say, December's coming. Are you ready for the winter market? And then maybe one other one that says, Happy New Year. What can I do for you in 2018? These are the 2 pieces we want to create. Okay? They don't live here yet. You are going to create them. So you go right here to create campaign. Keeping in mind that a campaign is a series of events from 1 to 100. And you're going to make the events once you click create campaign. Okay? I'm going to create the campaign. And now this is where either the fun starts or the headache. For me, as someone who loves to create, this is awesome. I just like, oh, sweet, now I get all these templates and I can just go to work here. I do most of my work in the blank content one. And I'm going to tell you why. Because that's just a blank canvas and I can throw a photo on it. I can type in it. It's not going to give me any kind of stuff that I didn't want. It's not, and like, you know, maybe I don't dig on red, so I don't want that. I just want my own thing here. So I'm going to select it. If you just push on this, you're just going to see what it looks like, and it's not going to select it. But I'm going to select this after, first things first, this is the campaign name, 2 emails to new leads. So this is what this campaign is called, and this is how I'm going to find it when I go to my campaigns. And I could search all sorts of different ways. If this is a listing campaign, I can use these things. But like I say, I like this one, and I'm glad it's the top left one because it makes me happy to go in here and go, thank you for the blank canvas, IQO. Now let's go to work. Okay? I'm going to name it first. Okay, this is new lead email number 1. That's only for me. That doesn't go to the client. That's how I'm going to call it in my campaign. So I've named my campaign, and now I'm naming this event. I'm going to send it on an interval. And this is confusing. I get it. But just trust me on this. I'm going to do interval. And the interval is going to be 5, I think. Lexi, is that right? If I want to go out, I want it on day 1 and then 5 days later. And while I'm creating it, I'm going to make it inactive.
Yes, then you'll do interval.
Okay, will that send on what day 1 or day 5 when I put them in?
It depends on which number you put in there. If you put the number 5 in there, then it's going to go on day 5. If you put the number 1 in there, it's going to go on day 1.
All right, so this is just the first event. So I want this to go out as soon as I create the event and put the recipient in it. I want them to get it. So this will be 1. When I create my next event, I want to give them 30 days where they don't have to worry about me. So then I'll put in 30 because it'll go on day 1 and then the next one will go on day 30. Okay, subject. This is really important here. Alexi will talk to us all day if she wants to about how important the subject is in getting someone to open your email. Okay? If you just say lead email, I'm going to delete that, even though that's what it is. Something that's going to make them say, oh, I wonder what he's talking about or she's talking about. Can I don't know, this might not be right. Can I answer a question for you? Jeez. Can I type for you? Okay. I'm going to leave it at that right now because I want to engage them with my subject line. Okay. It's inactive. Right now I'm not going to worry about these things. That gets a little complicated. And I think I've changed my mind about things. I want to hit people in the evening when they're at home and they're not at work. So I'm going to say I want to send this after 6 p.m. You might have different philosophies, but middle of the day, no go. Either early when they're just getting into their email and they still feel like they have a chance at life, they're going to read your stuff, or later in the evening when they realize, man, life just got me again. I'm going to have a drink and look at my email. Okay, morning or night, I would think. Okay, what is this thing here? This is where your email is going to go. And anytime you hover over a screen and have this pencil here, means you can edit this thing. Here is what this email looks like right now. Nothing. I love graphics, I love images, and so I'm going to do some text, and then I'm going to put an image in, or you can do an image and have some text, or if you're savvy enough, you can, in a program like Canva or PowerPoint, put text on your image. So you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Anyway, this is for my new leads in Zillow. Say, it was a pleasure to speak with you about Grand Junction real estate. I'm not going to worry about errors right now because I'm trying to do this. I would love to learn more about what you need from me and what you are looking for in the market. Okay, so that's the email that this person is going to get. But I want to put an image in here because, like I say, I think images are great, and not everybody is a word person. Some people are image people. How do I put an image in here? Okay, you've got all these buttons up here. These are your format buttons. Let's say, first of all, no, I'm not going to do that, sorry. Image button is right here. This little thing, it's a mountain with a sun, and that means, hey, that's a photo, I guess. I know everybody's like, wait, what? That's getting really close. That's your icon for insert an image. This one here is if you want to go grab something from the internet, you can, but if you have something on your desktop or in your computer and you want to upload that, you can do that. So I'm going to click on that. It's got all these things. Oh, hi, Liz. It's got all these things on here. But let's say the image that I want is not in here yet. So I'm going to, thank you, Adam. Good to see you go. I'm going to add a file. And it's just like any other kind of uploader. It's going to take you to your computer. Where is this file you want to add, smart guy? Well, if you're organized, you've got the photos that you like to use for real estate or that you know they're there in some folder, so you don't have to go digging through 18 different folders. I keep my photos in a folder called Photos.
Imagine that.
Okay, so I double click on that to open that, and let's see. I want to metaphorically talk about being at the peak of things. So I'm going to open this photo of my dog and some guy hiking up in the Pioneers, and it's gonna, so I clicked upload, it's gonna process that. Hi. And it's gonna almost always appear in the top left as the newest image. So this one, it's a high-res photo. You don't have to have high-res photos through emails, but that's why it's sort of slumping along. But I'm going to select this one, and it should show up here in a moment. I'm going to correct this. Is it showing up? No? Here it comes. Okay, this is the issue where you would be well within your rights to go, what is happening? What do I do now? My image looks like it was made by Jack and the Beanstalk. And
change your line, say up in the air about the real estate market.
okay, so since it's a big photo on my computer, it shows up really big. How do I get it to be smaller? Well, you got to futz with it a little bit. Sometimes if you double click on it, you get it, but you need it to turn blue. God dang it, Lexi, is this going to work for me? Everybody, OMs deal with this all the time when they're making your newsletter.
If you try and like drag from right to left over it, Derek, it'll.
There we go. Okay, treat it like a word, and you got to go to the bottom right and drag over it. And once it's blue, then you can manipulate it. You see, there's a tiny little square down here, and I'll have to do this 3 or 4 times. But once I grab that corner square, I can manipulate its size, and it'll stay in proportion. Okay, but you have to do it from a corner square, not any of the others. And I know that that's over the head of a lot of people, but I'm just trying to give you the best way to do this.
We can help you resize images before you do that too. If you're having a problem, just let us know, and we can resize them before you embed them.
Okay, so now it's almost too small. See, like I'd want it to fit the whole thing, but I did 4 or 5 drags and I got it there. So, but now I want to highlight it again. Hopefully, there we go. Ah. IQO is fun sometimes. It's like, I don't know what it's like. Okay, well, whatever. But what I want to do is center it. And so, there we go. I want to center just my photo, so I get it blue again, and I click center. So even if it's not as wide as the text, at least it centers in the image. I want to put a line there, but I want to put more text in here, okay? I'm trying to identify with these people. So what I'm going to say here is I took this photo on a hike this fall in the mountains, obviously. I love Grand Junction and want to share my knowledge with you. Best. And do I need to put my name, Lexi? I can't remember. I think I do.
In your IQO campaigns, you don't have to. It'll automatically pull in, like when you get emails from me, you'll see my photo and my information down there at the bottom. That's going to automatically be there. If you have a signature in IQO, that'll override.
Yeah, so you can just leave it like that. So there's event 1 of my campaign. I'm just trying to get this person to get back in touch with me. So I think I've done a good job here. Okay. Okay, and then this is all good, and I click next here. I don't have any recipients yet, so I want to add. So my campaign is just like me standing in my bedroom talking to myself right now. Until I add recipients, it's just me and the mirror. Ashley? So I can add just an individual contact, but hopefully I've got my 8 Zillow people or my 8 leads that have not gotten back to me in a contact type group in my contacts. If not, I just go in and I do them individually, no biggie, or I can go into contact types and I can choose Hot Fall 27. They're the people I want. I click, I add to selected, and I finish. See, they're right here. I don't need to click again. I know this screen is confusing. Just click it up here, add to selected, and you should be done. I finish. Okay, and I've got Zachary Lopez as my only hot fall 2017 contact. Fine, that's totally good. If I had 30 of them in here and I know one of them is no longer hot, I can just go here and delete them from that list. Okay, and believe me, Zachary Lopez is super hot. All right, then I click finish. I'm not worried about anything because my campaign is inactive, so Zach Lopez, the hot 2017 guy, is not going to get anything from me. Okay, your campaign is complete. That's only because I've added an event. Now it's a campaign, but I'm going to want to do a second event. So I'm going to click done here. Okay. Here's this campaign. I need to add one more event. Remember we said we're going to do 2. So I click on it again. I go to events. There's the first one, and I want to add a second event. Okay, same thing. Bing here. New lead email number 2. This is just for me. Really, I have great news about the market, exclamation mark. Okay, I'm going to send, now this is I'm going to use an interval. The first one went out on day 1. This one, let's say 14 days later. 2 weeks after the first one goes to the next one. So interval is 14. I'm going to send after 6, okay? And again, I'm going to do all that same stuff. Now, for time's sake, I'm not going to go ahead and do an image because they do take a little bit, but here is number 2 email. Cheers. Okay. And I click OK.
Make it inactive.
It isn't. Oh, this one needs to be inactive too. Thank you, Jennifer. See, yeah. And then I click finish. I don't have to select recipients. Why is that? Because I did it the first time, and this is a campaign. So anyone that's on that first recipient list is on this campaign's recipient list. Okay? All right, I'm done. This will go out on day 1. So Zachary will get this today if it was active, and then he'll get the next one on day 14. So 2 weeks from now, he'll get the second one. Okay? You could make a 10-step campaign here. You could make a 3-step campaign, a 3-event campaign. All I'm trying to do is say that you have the ability to personalize a campaign in, did you just see my dog, Ashley? Is that what you're smiling at? She's like, doggy, yeah! You can personalize a campaign to whatever degree you want. Okay? That's all I really want. I'm sorry?
Derek, question. So I have this campaign, I started it today, and then let's say in 5 days from now, I add 3 people to it. Would that be day 1 for them, or are they in day 3 of that campaign?
That's correct. Anytime, great question, Robert, thank you. I can always count on you for awesome questions. Anytime you add someone to a campaign that's an interval campaign, they get the first one on their day 1. So the one applies to them. Okay, and then 14 days later, they'd get the next one. That's correct. Here's the issue with this, in my opinion, and Lexi, you have more experience with this than I do. Let's say my first event worked. I sent them, they got that first one, and then they got back to me, and now we're best buds. We're having coffee. We're going to the movie together. It's awesome. What do you need to make sure you do? Don't send them the second event in the campaign because you'll look like a rookie. All of a sudden you've got a relationship, and then they get this bizarre sort of personal email that has nothing to do with what you've been talking about. So this is why these are a little bit dangerous, because if all of a sudden you've cracked the egg, but then you send them another email in your campaign, it's like, hey, how come you don't get back to me, jerk face? You're the jerk face at that point. So Lexi, help me, any experience you have in this, and I know you have to go in just a minute.
I mean, I haven't had any negative feedback from that, but that's a really good point. I think it's just like anything else. It's your business. You need to be managing these contacts and following up with them. You need to know what's in the campaigns. Don't just go and add people to a campaign without looking at the events first. You need to know what they're sending, what you are sending them. There might be an event in the campaign that doesn't work for you, and you need to know that. So I think it's really important when you're adding people to them, just go through, look at the events, know what you're sending, and as you're building that relationship, it's your business. You know where to move them into the next, chain of events to take them out of that campaign. You just can't, it's not completely set it and forget it for life.
So, it's a fine line between making things really efficient and hitting people with regularity, but not hitting them after they said uncle. Because that's a bad time to hit someone. So, keep track of this stuff. A lot of you have a lot of contacts, and it's hard. So I don't know the answer other than all I want to show you is that you can get personal here. Susan.
But you've got all those, there you have, do not send, duplicates, errors, views, sent, attempts.
Yeah.
See that? I mean, couldn't you?
Right. This is information about the event itself. So once it sends, you can see things. Like if we go to my campaigns, so I want to close here, and so we can see that my new agent, I sent 60. It was viewed 135 times, and I think 94 of those were by Frank Marcy. Thank you, Frank. So that's information about that.
Okay.
To get rid of people out of your campaign, let's say that Zachary responded, and Hot Zach doesn't need to hear from me anymore. Okay, I want to go in here and I want to edit the event. Whoops. No, I want to go to, sorry, I want to go to recipients. Okay, thanks, Ashley. You're like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. And I want to go here and I want to delete Zach from there because are you sure you want, this doesn't delete him out of my database, it deletes him out of this campaign. And now I'm back with just the people that need to be hearing from me because they have not gotten in touch with me. Lexi? Oh, that was it. Bye-bye. Okay.
Adam has a question.
Yeah.
Going back to the beginning, if I want to look at what is in a campaign that's already saved, how do I do that?
To preview it.
To preview, yeah, all the steps of the campaign.
Excellent. So I go to Adam's question is, how do I see what is in a campaign? So whether it's a company campaign or my campaign, okay, this is where there's so many buttons. IQO is just like, they're the button factory, right? Okay, so I go into this, I click on the campaign itself, I click on events, and once I have this list of events, Adam, then I can hover over actions and I click preview, and this is going to be what it looks like. Oh, sweet. Okay, that's what this event looks like. And then I want to see what this one looks like. And I click preview here.
Put his signature in there.
Okay, that's how you see it. So if you click on the thing itself, that doesn't give you what it actually looks like. It gives you the sort of the working copy of it. So you hover. Remember, this actions button is always a hover, and you click preview at that point. Okay. Who have I sent this to, or the recipients, all those folks. So, Adam, is that too legit to quit?
Thank you.
Let me see it. Too legit to quit. Okay. All right. Real quickly, do we have mental space to go into blogs? Are we okay? Might as well. I said we were going to, and I like to be a man of my word. Okay. All of you can have a blog on your website, and I recommend it. I recommend you getting a blog on your CB Distinctive website because blogs do a couple of things. Blogs make you more important in the World Wide Web. It allows you to do links and stuff and make you stickier. It helps your SEO. Any metric you want to use in terms of getting more exposure, blogs really help that. Okay, so not very many of our agents are using blogs. And before you go, well, I don't write. I haven't bought into the Business Ignite package, which would do your blogs for you, by the way. If you sign up for Business Ignite, you'll get 2 blogs a month created for you about you and your market, just saying. But you don't have to write them. You can go out there and grab stuff. You can use the company-generated blogs. You can use the Blue Matter blogs. And as long as you're doing that and saying, this goes into my blog, then you get stickier. Then your SEO increases. Then your exposure increases. And when someone types in Steamboat or Bozeman agent, Jamie Chu is going to rise up in the ranks because she's got more stuff happening with her name attached to it. Okay? So that's my plug for doing blogs. And if you do video blogs or just typed blogs or whatever, it's all good. And I really want to encourage you to think about doing this. How do you do it? You can't do it unless you tell Alexi and me that you want to do it, because the blog function is not automatic. We have to turn it on for you because there has to be some quality control. And I hope you understand what I mean by that. If you've got something on your site, it's part of the company, and we have to know that it's not like wacky stuff, Adam. Adam. Yeah, no no weird stuff. So we need to know who's doing it. You need to just email Lexi and me. I want to do a blog, and then we'll turn it on. And then you can decide, do you want to use the company blog that the OMs generate with some regularity? And we can just say, there's your blog, and it's automatic. Do you want to create a blog? And there are training videos associated with how to do that and then how to load it. Your OMs, your MD, and I and Alexi can help you with that. The worst thing you can do is start a blog and then never do anything to it. It's like buying a car and just keeping it in your garage. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I really want to encourage you, because all of you, you're all business people. And Bob, you know, bless you, you're out in Montrose. You have a very unique way of looking at Montrose and real estate. You've come to it late. You've got unbelievable stories to tell about you as a real estate agent. But no one's going to know that story unless you're interfacing with them one-on-one. If you get it on your blog, guess what? You're going to be more likely to be able to have those conversations because people want to know your story. Wow, that's fantastic. I want to use this guy. Betsy, same with you and Vale. All of you have stories, and if you get those things into your blog, you are going to be stickier, I am convinced. I would also say, and we can help you with this, that if you do blogs, you put them on your business Facebook page. There's another point of stickiness. If you have an Instagram business page, you can say, hey, check out my blog, and you put your link in your bio. All you're trying to do is drive traffic to you, to your website, and you can do this with some of the tools in IQO. So I'm not going to go too in-depth with how to do blogs because Lexi has a great training that lives right here in the chain link. You have trainings galore, but there's a training about how to video blog and also how to well, the other one's somewhere in here, about how to get your blog going. But basically, once you ask us to help you with it, we make it happen, and then we can help you with content, or you can just be let loose with content, but then all of a sudden, you are more of a player in your market. Just so you see, it lives here in Tools and Preferences. Your blog lives here, but you're going to go into it, and you're not going to see anything unless you've asked to be turned on, okay? No entries found, I haven't done one. Users, no users, settings. So I'd go to settings. Right now it's called just Derek Svenningson blog. I'd probably call it something more like something catchy like My Sun Valley blog. Use your market name so that there's more stickiness. And then this is where I can manage, and I think we have to do this from the back end. Like if you wanted anytime a Vail blog is posted by Elizabeth, we could click that, add that, and that will show up on your blog as Betsy Randall's blog. It just happens to be about Vail. She didn't have to write it. No one cares. We don't want you plagiarizing stuff, but the www is about rip off and duplicate. So that's all fine. Anything the company generates is all yours. Okay, I don't think there's any copyright or infringement issues on stuff that is company generated. Okay, so we can help manage this for you. What does it look like? I'm going to go to Valerie's page. Valerie, I hope this is okay. I didn't check with you. Oh, I should know it off the top of my head. Valerie, are you on this call, or anyone? Colwell, Montrose? I think it's here. She's done a great job with video blogs as well as blogs themselves. Okay, so I'm going to minimize my screen here so you can see what's happening. Here's one of Valerie's websites. Look at that. First of all, she has a personalized domain because that's how you look cool in 2017. All these things are manageable. We can change these for you. I wouldn't expect you to know how to do it, but here's her blog, and she's got two things here. If you want to see her CV blog, which is the company-generated one, great. But if you want to see her video blog, you go here, and look at that. Every month she's got one. Valerie, you rule. You're so good. All of her video blogs are here. All I have to do is push play, and I get to have 1 minute and 48 seconds of Valerie instructing me
Valerie Myers with
about the Montrose market. And it's personal. It's her doing stuff. It's not dry. It's consistent. It is everything a blog should be. And I'm going to go ahead and say that to me, there's a correlation between higher producing agents and more stuff like this. Our highest producing agent here in Sun Valley are Stephanie and Kelly. They've got blogs. They do videos at least once a week. Valerie, high producer in Montrose. Chris McDonald, high producer in Vail. I can go down the list, and I think the correlation is pretty clear. There is no excuse in November 2017 for not doing more video, for not doing more blogs, for not doing more content on Facebook. No excuse. It's so easy. Boom. We got a guy here, he was here a minute ago. Ned Burns just got elected to the city council in one of our towns here in in the Wood River Valley. I said, Ned, what are you doing? He said, nothing. I walked him upstairs. This took 3 minutes. I walked him upstairs, said, you're going to do a video, say, hey, Ned Burns here. Look, at the mountain's going to open in 2 weeks. I just won a city council position, and I can't wait for hockey season. It was a 30-second video. Boom, videoed it. Now it's on his Facebook, and he's boosting it, I think, to the Wood River Valley. It took 3 minutes, and it's content, and it's him, and it's real, and it's market-specific, and it's what you should be doing. It's too simple not to do right now. Okay, you can do it as Facebook Live if you have good service. You can just do a selfie video. Ask your OM, get another agent. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, agents, OMs. Ask another agent to, hey, will you just go film me for a minute? Do it, put it on your Facebook, put it on your blog that we set up for you, and have content that is authentic. Tom Ferry, tell you, all you got to do right now is put content out there that is about you and is going to make people want to call you about real estate. And that's what Valerie does here on all of these. Okay? All right. So I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of how to do the blog right now, other than all I want to say is hire Business Ignite, our in-house promotional program, $400 a month to get your 2 blogs, to get a couple videos every month, to get some Instagram posts every month. Hire that out. The people that have done it in Sun Valley, they're over the moon about it. They love the work that Business Ignite does. Or 2 or 3 sentences every couple weeks in a blog that you have started on your website, and that's gonna get you some traction. Okay, I can't stress this stuff enough. So that is I'm going to stop sharing screen here. We're going to go back to the big picture, I think. That is my plea for you, is that A, you understand that you can personalize campaigns, and you can certainly reach out to me for a little bit of help with that. I love putting words on images, so if you just have, hey, I've got a great photo of me skiing at Vail, Robert, I'm talking to you. I've got this great photo of me skiing at Vail, and I want to put, like, are you ready? Epic season on it. Send it to me. Okay, then think about blogs. Find some blogs out there. We will help you get those things going. Okay? Margaret, Lisa, Ashley.
You're cutting in and out. You're frozen right now.
It is cold.
Can't handle you.
It's cold here. No, it can't. It can't handle the baby Ruth. Here's the last thing I want to say is we had a great, I know, I'm almost done. We had a great leadership retreat, I think, in Grand Junction. So thanks to the hospitality from some of you folks there. But your OMs and MDs will be talking a lot about this in 2018, but I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. 2018 is all about our swagger. It's all about our growth. It's all about the ability for our Coldwell Banker offices to be #1 in our markets, to know that we are better than anyone out there, regardless of our market share, because we've got the best marketing. You've got the best support with Ashley and Daisha and Lisa and Margaret, Elizabeth and Jennifer. You've got great MDs, and Todd and Teresa are making a company that can't be competed with once you get into the guts of it. So we're gonna enter 2018 with swagger. We're gonna see our market share increase. The blogging, the personalized campaigns, and all the other stuff that we have in there is part of that swagger. Let's not be apologetic about this, and let's make sure that we finish strong in 2017 and prime ourselves for a 2018 that is all about our own growth, our own profitability, and I'll say it, the company's profitability. Because when you make more, we can do more. That's all that we really want to do, is do more for you. Okay? Any last minute questions? I'm not going to end with a joke today because Stephanie's not here, and that'd be boring if she didn't walk out of the room on me. So any last minute thoughts or things you need to know before I go? I like that. No? Okay, have a great week. Hopefully we'll see you next week when we're going to talk about ways to maximize the Slack season as an agent. That'll be next week's topic. So if you have any thoughts about that, you can get back to me. You all are great, and Daisha, good having you along too. And so we will see you next week. I'll send out the recording at some point, okay? Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Daisha,